afternoon, Floss Tube. Lisa here from the Shady Tree Stitches, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 24 of my Floss Tube about cross-stitching progress. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me. As usual, I probably won't keep you too long, just a little bit of a glimpse into the progress I've made. And if you are a new person, then welcome. Hope you like what you see, and if you do, like and subscribe and keep coming back. Got a few irons in the fire, and I might mention some of them later in plans. But first, let's get on with the stitching, as always. First of all, this week, well, it's been a week and 2 days since you saw me because I was traveling all around the state doing work. So I got lots of stitching done, but I didn't, get to keep my routine. We have a finish. I'd like you to admire Summer by the Cricket Collection. It's gorgeous. Haven't ironed it yet, and I was going to fully finish it, but I haven't actually got what I needed to FFO it yet. Need to get a longer bar. Really pleased with how that turned out. I was halfway around the state stitching on it, and I realised that I was using two different types of white on it, but I'm not really sure you can see, and if you can see, sometimes it looks intentional, so I'm really pleased with how that turned out. So that is finished, which means I now do need to urgently think about starting on the next one. And I did put out there on my stash videos a little while ago a request for which season should I do next. And at the moment I have equal votes for spring, winter and autumn. Now I will tell you, I'm not erring towards autumn because a lot of the other pieces that I've got planned are autumn. So it's really up spring or winter. So if you would like to make a vote and make my mind up for me, because I don't have my own mind and I just do what people tell me all the time, I would really appreciate that. So pop a comment below with whether you think I should do winter or spring for my next cricket collection, and I will get it started possibly next week once I've tallied up the votes. Alright, so with that, yes, it is a year of starts. Virtual Stitches decreed that 2020 was a year of starts, and we're starting all the things. And in order to compound that, as I've mentioned a few times before, we have actually formed a separate group called the 2021 NoNewStarts group. And it's a group that I'm involved in running, where the plan is to have a fun year trying to work on all your whips. So the goal is to not start anything new next year. And it's all launched, and you can find all the information on the Facebook group. Just make sure that if you are joining, there are 4 membership questions. Lots of people keep missing the last one, which is, do you agree with the rules? You need to actually read the rules and agree to them to be a member of the group. There's an option for doing a competition part where you can donate prizes or money towards the grand prize, or you can just participate for fun, whatever tickles your fancy. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really good. I'm one of the type of people who think that if I financially invested in something, it's going to hold me to it more. I like to go, well, I gave a $5 donation for this. I'm going to make sure I get as far as possible. And other people go, I just want to donate because I want to contribute. There's going to be opportunities for different prizes along the way, and different events during the year, all laid out in the very detailed rules and things that you can see on the site. So if you'd like to join me and a lot of other people in working on the pieces you already have next year, then come and join us on the 2021 NoNewStarts group. We would love to see you, and you will be seeing me talk about it a lot and doing a lot of progress on here. So to compensate that, I had to start a few more things because it started that stuff September, and as you know from my video with Jenny last week, I started a new thing every day last week. This week not so much because I was traveling again and I had to take some random things, but I did start a few more different things. One of my new starts is the lovely Gigi, who was a gift to me from Candy L. Thank you so much again, Candy. She gave me this pattern when she'd finished with it from Mirabilia, and she's a beautiful little pixie from Bewitching Pixie by Nora Corbett. And I got started on Gigi, and I only had to do 200 stitches. So it's my 200 stitches. Can you see? It's a little black cap in the corner. So my plan is to actually get it so that lightning bolt. Okay, you can see right through because of this. Let's see if I can put that up. That will make life a bit better. And you can see it clearer. So there's the big lightning strike, and I want my little pixie to have her wand or a broomstick actually hitting up into that. So that was one of my new starts for the week. And my second new start was Ink Circle's treble clef, or it's called Here Comes Treble. When I teach my junior classes, there's some very annoying songs on YouTube about treble. Someone's got a Taylor Swift song. I knew you were treble when you walked in. Anyway, I won't sing you the whole song. Look it up on YouTube if you want. It's really quite well done. So I actually did on my treble 234 stitches. So you can see that it is actually the start of a treble clef. Alright, this one I'm just doing on a little piece of fabric from Sew It All in Port Macquarie. So yeah, really cool there. So they were my starts. Now all my work this week has been, of course, to fit in with homework, and my treble was my red floss for the Daily 30 group, but it was also to do a deck 4 where there was a theatre, and the theatre often has music, so for Magical Stitches it fitted in there. Now we also this week saw the launch of a new group which is called the Crystal Academy. I like all the shiny bright things when it comes to cross-stitching groups. I've decided that's definitely my shiny thing. I'm not so much about buying all the things, believe it or not. Not about, oh, the latest patterns come out, I must have it. No, there's another challenge group that I want to check out. Some of my other challenge groups are not necessarily doing it for me as much at the moment, so I am happy to check out a new one. So in the Crystal Academy, we had to just do some basic stitching for the week to set our level, and then we got sorted into different groups. So I've landed in a group called the Rougarous, which is like a werewolfy sort of creature. Our colour is pink, and that's pretty cool. And there's 9 of us in that group, and we work together as a team to stitch towards a goal. The go making spells, that sort of idea. And so we are working this week towards completing 2 spells as a group, and there are 6 separate subtasks of 300 stitches each. So I have already done my subtasks for them, but I should be able to tell you what they are as we get to them. Alright, my other new start was a biggie last weekend. Now I have to put the picture in here of the new start because it is the Artisy Cutaway Castle, and this one is awesome. It's huge. I can't even begin to tell you, but what I will show you is where I got up to, because I actually did 1,316 stitches. That's how many stitches there are there. 1,316. I'm using the CXC threads, and I purposely started in this top right corner because it had the block of blue, and then I've just started on a bit of a flag coming down. So I'll leave most of the rest of the blue for later, but I'm really pleased with how it's looking, and I'm doing this on an 18 count. So yeah, I'm going 2 strands over the 18 count on the Ada, and it's looking really good. So that is actually 0.4%. So 1,300 stitches is 0.4% of the project. Long way to go, but it's fun. Oh, sorry. I should stop filming in the afternoon, shouldn't I? Okay, they were my new starts. So getting ready for the no new starts next year means I have to start everything I want to start next year now. And that's okay, there are lots of people doing that. But I do really want to work on my whips that I've got as well. So when I went away this week, I took whips that I already had. I, of course, worked on my linen and threads for the Daily 30. And so I did 450 stitches on it, which basically got me the next few bits done. So it's still not really looking like anything in this section yet, but I actually, for the first time since I started the Daily 30, have not achieved my 30 minutes a day on this. And that was just because I do 30-minute stitching, but not necessarily on this. So I missed it. Oh well, that's okay. But yeah, first time I failed, but I was traveling around the whole state, so working hard and not really having the normal routine. So as I was traveling around, I did a different thing each day. So I worked on, and these ones were all ones that double dipped into different things. So for the Daily 30, I had to stitch on something that had a vegetable in it. And I also needed to stitch on something that had flames. So if you have a look, it's very scary Halloween. Up the top, those witches have some candles up on that candelabra light thing. And there's heaps of pumpkins. Pumpkin is a vegetable. Here in Australia, we don't use it as a fruit at all. It's a vegetable. We cook it and we eat it, and we have mashed pumpkin or baked pumpkin, or different things like that. So previously looked like this. So you get me being not so lazy today, maybe. And I did do a total of 611 stitches to get it to look like that. Look at that doggy, he's very cute. So 611 stitches to get that part done. I meant to be working on this to get the whole piece finished by the end of the year. So we'll see. I'm not so convinced that will actually happen. I did a little bit of work on my Lest We Forget Paddock Lane designs, and I was working up on the top on the word forget. So I was driving around the countryside, and this one I did 303 stitches. There's not really any point showing you the before because I finished the F and did the O and the R. So he's starting to look pretty good, but yeah, he's big. There's a long way to go. Really like the fabric I chose though. So I did Lest We Forget for him, and that was because he makes a loud noise. I had to do 300 stitches on him because he made a loud noise. I'm sorry, when you get woken up by a bugle in the morning, it's a loud noise. I also worked on my Anzac by Long Dog. So it previously looked like this. Now my Anzac from Long Dog, as you know, I restarted, and this one I worked on because it has something in it that emits sparks, and the guns that Ned Kelly is holding emit sparks. I did it because it has something with a T and an N in it. So this is where I'm up to. T and N, T for turtle, or tall ships, and N was for, why can I not remember what N was for? Totally jumped out of my head what N was for, but anyway. Oh, the Ned Kelly, the guy firing the guns. I'm an idiot. And you can see I pretty much worked on filling in the sheep. He's got a little bit left to do. Because I'm using the variegated thread, I didn't want it to be stripy, because you can see this bird down here is really stripy. So I was working on a different technique to make him more mottled, and I'm happy with the more mottled effect, so I'm going to persevere with that. And that was also something I'd find under the sea for magical stitches. Okay, I did a bit of work on my Alice. So Alice by Mirabilia, she is one of my scavenger hunts as well. And Alice I worked on because she was, oh, yeah, alright. So again, it's probably not too much to show you because I only didn't even write down what I did on her. Well, that's very bad of me. Well, I would have done 300 on her. Oh, my stitch count's not written properly because I haven't written Alice down. Anyway, that's where she is. And I was actually working up the top, and I finished the border up the top. And I did a bit of work on this brown and gold coming up there. So Alice, because if the clock exploded, then the shards would go everywhere. So that is why I did 300 and something stitches on Alice. And then the last one I worked on was my little house gardening girl, and she previously looked like this, and I worked on her because she's part of a monthly challenge for Shell, so that's what she looks like now. And my gardener I did do 526 stitches on to get her to that. I'm using a whole bunch of just different specialty flosses that I have, not the called for colours as such, but approximately right, so my yellow's a lot brighter. And I also noticed I had to do a bonus prompt with a sunflower, and I did summer, that's why I finished summer. And then I was stitching this last night, and look at those sunflowers. I didn't even realise they were sunflowers. Silly me. And that's pretty much because when you have a computer rendition, it just doesn't look nearly as good. I mean, it looks so much better when you have it stitched in real life compared to the picture. So that is what I stitched. So since you last saw me, I did, well, 4,925 stitches, which I was pleased with, although most of them were on the castle, and also on Monday, because Monday had a lot of driving and I sat and I stitched a lot, and I finished summer, so that was really good. So I was pleased with that. So that's kept me busy, and I'll put most of those projects away now for a little while, unless they're needed to be pulled out for whatever this week has to offer. With plans, I have to wait till homework is released to know my plans, and I will be continuing. I'm trying really hard to do a homework video every week, and Sammy and I have been chatting, and we are going to move them off the Virtual Stitches channel, because it's not really a well-known channel anyway, and move them onto our own channels. So you might see me doing video by myself from time to time, or one with Sammy, and you might see one on her channel. And we are going to try and do them on equivalent of my Australian Monday, because we have to wait for the Crystal Academy to release their challenges, and we're not sure exactly when they're releasing them for the week yet. So we'll see. Hopefully they release them on my Sunday, and then I can get onto video on a Sunday my time. Okay, sorry. And Shell releases hers basically on Friday night my time, and Magical Stitches release theirs on Sunday afternoon my time, ready for a release to start at about 5 o'clock on a Monday. Though we're about to hit daylight savings again, so things are about to be a movable feast, and I'm going to get totally confused on what the time zones are everywhere again. So yeah, so I haven't got plans yet, but I have to do something tilted, something with a dominant colour, something that has a pair of, something with an apple, and something that's fat for the daily 30 this week. So I'm not sure, haven't really given it much thought whatsoever, but the biggest one there will be trying to find an apple. Apple, I am guessing there's probably an apple in that autumn sampler I started last week. I do also want to start more things for the No New Starts, so we shall see. Alright, my haul. I have some exciting haul this week. My first bit of exciting haul is my Silks For You subscription, and this is the beautiful Silks For You August of the Month collection, and the girls did an awesome job. Just trying to get them in order because they're in a particular order, I'm sure, for a reason. Beautiful blues. Look at those. Aren't they stunning? And don't they complement each other so much? So you've got like a really quite darkish grey blue, a bit brighter, and into these like sea greeny blues, and then a really bright one. So absolutely luscious. So with this colour of the month, you get 10 metres of each one, and you get 5 of them for $25 Australian, which is a pretty good price for $5 each for silks. So yeah, thank you girls, beautiful job as always, and lovely packaged in a little bag. Now I'm not sure if you saw this last week when I was with Jenny. She picked this up for me. It's another Juniper Designs called Attic House. Wouldn't remember if I showed you or not, so there it is. She picked that up for me at one of the shops. And then I got my parcel from the boutique from the Daily 30. As you earn your tokens each week, you can tally them up, and at the end of a couple of months you have enough tokens to purchase something from the shelves, which are usually items she's giving away or someone else has donated. And there's some really good things on there, and I was very excited to actually get the one I really wanted, which you'll see in a sec. And Cheryl posted them to me on the 14th of July. Now, I don't know if I told you at the beginning of the video, probably not. I told you which video it is, but it's actually the 19th of September. So 2 months it took for me to get a letter with 2 patterns in it. Ridiculous. COVID, ridiculous. So I have got Lantern Lane from Little House Needleworks. Super cute and so me. Really Christmassy, I think, that one. And the one I've been wanting, the houses, Pork Run Hollow. So that's my thought, is to work on the houses next. Of course I have to pull my finger out and finish on that other one. It has apples in it, but there you go. I know what I'll be working on this week. My Hulk Run, my village will get a look in. So that was an exciting little bit of Stitchy Stash acquisition, and that was really cool. All right, so other plans. I am going, Paddock Lane Designs plans. So if you're not interested in listening about my business side of things, thank you for watching. Turn off now. And if you are interested, then I've only got a few things to say. I'm actually going to do a separate video with my new fabrics. I got a whole bunch dyed just before I went away, and so I want to get them up onto the website. And I'm really pleased that people have started to catch on to where I am, and that there is a local Australian dyer that does fabrics for them. So I have a whole chunk of 16 count Aida ready to dye. So for those of you who like 16 count, stay tuned. May happen this week. If not, we head into school holidays, so it'll happen sometime in the next couple of weeks. And I have got 32 count Murano even weave ready to go, and 18 count Aida, a whole bunch of new 18 count Aidas as well, and a couple of 14s. So very excited to be able to show them to you as a separate video. So I will get on to doing that video and uploading it, not on the Shady Trees channel, but on the Paddock Lane Facebook group, so that you can check them out there if you want to, and see all the lovely new pieces that will be spread across my Facebook group or Etsy shop. Apart from that, I'm also going to be releasing some new patterns. I forgot to mention I did finish my secret stitch, and I did another 1,595 stitches on it, and it's finished, and it's not too long before I'll be able to actually show it to you. Very cool. So it's getting publicized over the next couple of weeks, so as soon as I can show you, I will. I'm really happy with it, and it's something that I think is going to be quite appropriate to a particular time of the year that's coming up. So I'm really happy about that. And I've got a couple of other patterns that I'm going to launch that I've just been sitting on, as well as lots of other ideas. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch me, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, have a really great time stitching, and keep smiling.